For generations, hearts have turned toward the sacred city of Jerusalem, not merely for its historical significance, but because of the deep spiritual current that flows through its ancient streets. This is the land where prophets once spoke, where Jesus walked among the people, where he was crucified, and where he rose again, changing the course of history forever. In the heart of Jerusalem lies a structure held in reverence by Christians around the world, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. More than just a building, it is believed to be built over the very place where Jesus gave his life on the cross and where his body lay buried in a tomb, until that glorious moment when he rose again. For over 16 centuries, this church has stood as a silent witness to faith, sacrifice, and hope. But recently, something remarkable happened within its sacred walls, something that has brought new light to one of the most powerful moments in human history. Before we dive deeper into this astonishing discovery, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue bringing stories of biblical wonders and hidden truths to life every week. Now, let's take a journey into what lies beneath the stones of one of the holiest sites on earth, a restoration that changed everything. It all began with a restoration project, not unusual for a centuries-old church, but what was meant to be a careful and respectful renovation turned into something far greater. As workers and archaeologists carefully peeled back layers of stone flooring from the 4th century, they had no idea what was waiting for them below. Leading this delicate effort was archaeologist Dr. Francesca Slayer, who has spent years studying the ancient roots of Jerusalem. What she and her team uncovered was more than just broken pottery or weathered stone. What they discovered spoke directly to the pages of Scripture, validating a passage that has puzzled historians and believers alike for generations. As the team dug deeper, they passed beyond the time of Constantine, beyond the era when this holy church was first built by order of Emperor Constantine, influenced by his mother, Helena's divine conviction that this was the place of Jesus' resurrection. But what lay even further beneath those foundational stones revealed a more ancient story, one that stretched back hundreds, even thousands of years. Layer by layer, the team began to uncover the geological history of Jerusalem itself. They discovered signs of civilization from the Iron Age and the Roman period, and found compelling evidence of the transition from a Jewish cultural center to a Christian pilgrimage site. But it was one particular find that captivated the hearts and minds of everyone involved, and it ties directly to a verse in the Gospel of John. In John 19:41, the apostle gives us a subtle yet intriguing detail. Now, in the place where he was crucified, there was a garden, and in the garden, a new tomb in which no one had yet been laid. This verse has long raised questions. Why would a garden be situated so close to a Roman execution site, a place known for death and punishment? For centuries, that question had no clear answer, until now. What the archaeologists found beneath the Church of the Holy Sepulchre seemed to breathe life into John's account. They unearthed what was once a vast stone quarry, abandoned and forgotten over time. But this wasn't just a quarry. Evidence showed that after it had been emptied of its stone, it was transformed into something else, a burial ground. More than that, the team found stone-cut tombs carved directly into the rock, each one echoing the burial traditions of the time. And woven between these tombs were signs of agriculture, evidence of a garden that once flourished in this very place. The discovery of dry stone terraces indicated intentional cultivation. These were no random plantings. This land had been worked with care. Pollen samples taken from the soil revealed ancient traces of flowering plants and food crops, the very signs of a garden that once thrived in this rocky place. The gospel narrative suddenly shifted from abstract to physical. No longer just words in a holy book. This was something real. This wasn't a myth or a poetic metaphor. There truly was a garden near the site of crucifixion. There truly was a tomb carved in stone. This changes everything. What makes this discovery even more profound is the sequence it unveils. First, the site was used as a quarry, then abandoned. It became a burial area. Later, someone cultivated the ground, planting and tending to it, possibly using it as a garden. Then came the crucifixion of Jesus. Later, a church was built to honor that moment. And now, centuries later, the stones themselves are revealing the truth. The transformation of this site, Quarry to tomb, tomb to garden, garden to shrine, is exactly what the Gospel writers described. And now, the very soil agrees. When Helena, the mother of Emperor Constantine, visited Jerusalem in the 4th century, she believed she was standing on holy ground. Her vision led to the construction of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, but for centuries, skeptics have wondered, was she right? Could she have really identified the true place of Jesus' death and resurrection? Now, nearly 1,700 years later, the stones seem to confirm her faith. The alignment of archaeological findings with biblical descriptions is not just coincidence, it's evidence. Too often, people are told they must choose between faith and science, between scripture and evidence. But this discovery shows that truth doesn't divide, it unites. Here in Jerusalem, archaeology is not contradicting the Bible, it is confirming it. Every layer unearthed, every stone studied, tells a story that has already been written, and these findings continue to validate the reliability of Scripture. The rocks, long buried, now speak. As Jesus once said, "If they keep quiet, the stones will cry out." Today, the stones are doing just that. They are testifying. They're revealing a story that the world has long known, but many have doubted. They are giving tangible form to the words of the apostles. The garden tomb, the crucifixion site, the place where death was conquered, all of it is being brought to light with each passing excavation. Paul the apostle once said, "If Christ has not been raised, your faith is futile." 1 Corinthians 15:17. But now, through both scripture and science, we are reminded that our faith is not in vain. We are not clinging to legends. We are walking on sacred ground, on historical truth, on the very evidence of the resurrection. The Church of the Holy Sepulchre is not merely a symbol of faith. It is a physical testimony of the events that shaped salvation history. Beneath its ancient floors lie whispers of a garden, echoes of a tomb, and the quiet voice of a resurrected king. This church is not just a destination for pilgrims. It is a living document of history, chiseled in stone and rooted in the soil of prophecy fulfilled. What the archaeologists found beneath the church is more than just an exciting discovery. It is a spiritual confirmation, a moment of divine alignment where history and heaven collide. And the most incredible part? The story isn't finished. Jerusalem still has more secrets to reveal, more layers to be unearthed, more evidence waiting in the dust. Every excavation brings us closer to understanding just how much of the gospel can be touched, felt, and seen. The city where Jesus walked still bears his footsteps. The tomb where he was laid still echoes with resurrection power. And the stones of Jerusalem still tell the story, loudly, clearly, and eternally. What has been discovered beneath the Church of the Holy Sepulchre is not just history. It is holy testimony. It is evidence that what we believe isn't just based on faith alone. It is also grounded in the physical, in the stones, in the garden soil, in the empty tomb. And so, we listen. Not just with our ears, but with our hearts. Would you like to hear more about incredible biblical discoveries like this one? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget, if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel so we can continue to bring you more inspiring stories that link Scripture with stunning archaeological evidence. Because the story of Jesus isn't just real, it's alive.